Hey guys, Nesso here with my first Warframe review. Today we take a look at our newest frame from the developers of Warframe China, Ne Zha. Based on the Chinese deity of protection who was said to have a fiery wheel and a fire-tipped spear for weapons, the outcome was a Warframe that strikes me as a jack of all trades. Ne Zha is the fastest when looking at his base speed, but loses to a max power strength fault. He has a heal, but is weaker than all the other healing frames. He has Iron Skin 2.0, but it gives less armor than Rhino. He has CC, but loses compared to Ember's World on Fire Augment and Vauban's Bastille. But again, this Warframe has all of this in one frame. While Ne Zha is not the most powerful frame and has scaling issues with his damage, he is no doubt one of the most fun frames I have used. So now let's take a look at his skills. Ne Zha's first ability is called Firewalker. Gives Ne Zha 20% speed boost and allows him to leave a path of fire while he moves around. This ability slowly kills enemies, but most importantly, it CCs them. Duration increases the length the fire stays on the ground. Like Ember, not having a lot of power strength is alright with this skill. Firewalker still works well due to the constant damage and CC it puts out. The blast damage listed in the description will be explained further with his next skill. His second ability is Blazing Chakram. When activated, Ne Zha tosses out a ring that bounces around similar to the glaive. Hitting a target with the ring marks them to cause a healing blast once they die. If you land a hit on an enemy, it seems more likely to bounce to nearby enemies. Using this skill again while the ring is flying about causes you to teleport to it. A hidden feature of the ring is if you have Firewalker activated while teleporting, it does cause you to create an explosion at your destination. This combo does deactivate Firewalker. This skill is a lot of fun to use, but it isn't amazing since the combo with Firewalker does an AoE mark for healing. It also disables Firewalker and overall feels very clunky to use. The duration of the mark is based on your Warframe's duration, and the range of the healing blast is based on your range. His third ability is Warding Halo. This skill is pretty much a weaker version of Iron Skin with one major difference. It staggers nearby enemies, and by nearby I mean like really nearby. With a high amount of power range I was able to see the stagger, but having default range really requires you to be close to proc it. It works well on units with long animations such as Butchers, but it doesn't stop a Bombard, Heavy Gunner, or any of the really important heavy damage dealers from wrecking your face. This reduces the overall effectiveness of this skill. His ultimate ability is the Divine Spears. This ability does some decent damage and a somewhat useful CC. The issue with this skill is once the ultimate ends, they get dropped to the ground. They don't fully stand up before you recast the skill. The spears briefly appear and then disappear, leaving them free to rush you. This is a big problem when new enemies come into your range of control. You will need to drop the currently CC'd units, which, by the way, has a cast animation. You have to wait for them to get up, then recast it, which causes a lot of problems. In addition to this issue, it doesn't target flying units such as Sealed Ospreys. I use his ability primarily when I resurrect my allies or try to give them cover. The main issue with the skill, again, is the fact that you need to wait a moment, leave yourself open, and then recast the ability. Compared to something like Rhino's Stomp, Nyx's Chaos, Bastille, which just constantly keeps things CC'd, it's just lackluster in that department. One more thing to note about Ne Zha is his abilities have some annoyingly long cast times. Be sure to be moving while you cast. You can cast while you slide or jump to prevent being an easy target. Alright, time to mod up Ne Zha. For configuration A, I have a power strength build. It works for Solwyn due to having a beefier shield, but your ultimate and shield stagger become useless. For configuration B, I have max power range. It's decent for infested missions or if you want crowd control. Configuration C is my final build. It's more balanced and is probably my build of choice. It has enough armor and power strength for a beefy shield, though less than configuration A. It also has a good amount of range for its ultimate and shield stagger. I recommend using this build, but as always, mod to your liking, play with what suits you. Now on how to obtain Ne Zha. He sadly comes from sortie rewards, something I'm very unhappy about. When Wukong came out requiring Nightane, I was not bothered by it. While it was annoying that a new resource came out that only came from alerts, eventually, just like every other resource, once everything is built, it becomes another resource that pulls up ready to spend. Ne Zha's parts dropping from sorties means we're diluting the loot table for sorties, and also means we have a 1 in 18 chance to get what you want, plus you might get double of a part you already have. For something you can only do daily and not keep farming like bosses or a spy mission, this is a horrible wall to deal with. I'm hoping once the second season of sorties ends, Ne Zha will be placed into a proper drop location, but until then, pray to RNG Jesus. The parts are tradable, but people want 100 plat per piece instead of paying 275 plat for the frame plus a reactor and a Warframe slot. Let's just hope DE makes Ne Zha easier to obtain in the future. Now the final question, is Ne Zha worth it? I would have to say no, not really. Ne Zha is incredibly fun to use, but there are more easily accessible frames that do what Ne Zha can do but better. Despite this, I personally enjoy Ne Zha and I will be using him more than other frames. As long as you're having fun, what does it matter what frame you use? Play what you like and enjoy the game. Anyway, thank you for watching and I hope you have a good one.